The holiday is over for my 3D characters. Let's put them to work. This is what we've got so far in the Taking a Break series. Oh, there will be action! Hello, welcome to the channel. This is Mixed Photo and 3D. My name is Per Kadell. We have a lot to do today, so let's get started. This video is divided into 12 chapters, one for each production step. The 3D assets I need for this image are Gordon, Steffi, glass stands and the surfboard. A new addition is this cabin bag. The shop owner was kind enough to let me use the window space for some snappy photos. So I did the bare minimum, in and out. There was no time for grey card reference shots. Here is the background image, and here is the 360 image. Without grey card reference, the color matching has to be done by eye. These images will be used as the background image and as the 360 lighting dome in Blender. Before matching the camera in F-Spy, we must figure out which kind of perspective we should match it to. This calls for a solution with 3 vanishing points. The red reference lines are used for aligning the x-axis, the green for the y-axis, and blue for the z-axis. Then I position the world coordinate system at the corner of the carpet. I enter the measurements of the carpet's width, 0.9 meters. With the reference the photo gives, it is now possible to create the geometry required for the light and shadow interaction with the characters. The floor, carpet and windows for the window reflections. First, I move the characters roughly into position, and then I do the broader shapes of their poses. As you can see, the record button is active, so all tweaks I do on the rigs are saved on frame 100. There are many things to consider: composition, balance, motion and readability. Steffi gets to use her happy face in this image. I go back and forward a bit between the characters and finish with their finer details posing hands and fingers. To guide my posing, I use this overlay that shows some action and composition lines. The poses of the characters are loaded into Marvelous Designer. We play back the simulation and make some adjustments. I want to see movement in Gordon's leg openings. His sheen should lead and the cloth should follow. Gordon didn't want to ruin his shirt while doing the heavy lifting, so he folded the shirt over the cabin bag. I made a low poly version of the bag with an open U-shaped handle to facilitate the shirt to easily slide through. It's common with particle systems in a VFX image. In this case, particle systems are used for the character's wigs. Let's set up some lights. Up here is the scene camera. I turn it off temporarily so we don't see the background image. Then I go to Film and uncheck Transparency. This makes the scene dark. In the World tab of the shader editor, I turn on the Environmental 360 light. I then check the transparency again so it's not visible in the background, and turn the camera back on. I add spotlights, 4 of them, and an additional spot to get some rim light on Gordon's hair. This area gets too much attention, it's too brightly lit by the 360. To reduce some of the light, we block it off with solid black flags. This is a common practice in photo studios. The floor and the carpet are also blocking environmental light. To compensate for this, I turn up some emission on these objects when rendering the beauty pass. I'll render 3 layers. A beauty pass, a shadow catcher, and an indirect glossiness pass. And we want to save them as a single file. This is done by choosing the multilayer EXR option. In the compositing view, we can take a look at this file and make sure we have all the layers. This is the beauty pass. In the node, we can tab down and hook up what we want to look at: the glossy indirect and the shadow catcher. Up here is the background image, and we multiply the shadow on top of it. We look at the indirect glossiness and hook it up to be added over. You can see the surfboard being reflected here. And finally, the beauty pass is added with an alpha over node, saving the image. In Luminar, I crop the image. I desaturate it a little. And then I change the balance in the shadow colors. The last thing I do is to add some vignetting. That's it, the image is ready. Here you can see the overlay of my leading lines of action and composition. If you would like to see more of this content, please help the channel out by liking and subscribing. The beginning of this Gordon and Steffi saga can be found here to the left, and to the right you can see the previous episode if you haven't already. It has been so good to have you. Thank you for watching. See ya!